Hi everyone, this is very exciting for the New Zealanders. We have one of my favourite people in the whole world on the call tonight. Her name is Miss Caitlin Field. She is our very own little superstar, Gen Y superstar. Caitlin, are you 23? 23.
23, turning 24 this year.
Okay, so she's 24 this year. She's the National Marketing Director, 24 club member, soaring towards big things in the Juice Plus business. And one of Caitlin's, biggest attributes is her ability to connect on social media, not just because she's 23, but because Caitlin actually understands social media and has spent the time understanding it, so she knows what to do. So a great gift for New Zealand today and for this team is to have her really explain her tips and tricks around social media. All right, over to you, Caitlin.
Beautiful, thank you. So I did a Zoom call the other day with Dr. Tamara Hunter over here in Perth, and I think a few of you actually jumped on that Zoom and you were able to watch that, or at least watch the recording. So today, I suppose what I really want to do is add as much value as I can to your business and answer any questions that you may have around social media. I know a few people find social media very, very overwhelming, but when you really break it down, it's so simple. And you want to blend social media into your everyday life. You don't want social media to become a task or something that you have to set into your diary to do. You want it to be on the go. We've always got our phone with us, our laptop, our iPad. There's always something that we've got with us that can connect us directly to social media. And, your posts only need to be a few words and a very eye-catching, beautiful picture. So, you can feel free to scroll through and see what I do on my social media, getting other people to tag you in posts so it's spreading out to other networks. It's not only just your friends. So I find tagging is very, very important as well. So when you're out and about, you're doing something, make sure you tag all the people that you're with, just so then it spreads onto their news feeds and all their friends and family are able to see what you're doing and what they're doing as well. So Ruth, I'll get you to sort of explain if there's anything you guys saw on the Zoom call from Dr. Tamara Hunter's recording, and if there's anything you wanted me to touch on today with you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Caitlin. I guess, I don't know, has everybody seen the recording? Sarah, did you see it? Yep. Mum, did you see it? Bev, I'm not quite sure whether, I think Bev, not quite sure whether Bev's seen it, but it was really, really good. Like, I loved
No, I didn't see it.
Okay, the recording's up on the page anyway if you want to have a look at it afterwards. But it's really, really good advice that Caitlin gave around, what is a good post and what is a not so good post. But I guess, Caitlin, one of my questions, you talked a lot about do's and don'ts, which was really, really, really good when using social media. One of my questions, I guess, is around probably adding people on Facebook. I do it a lot because I'm a personal trainer, and I guess that kind of, when I'm adding people in from that industry, that's what people from this industry do a lot. But I guess for, we've got a couple of more mature ladies on the call tonight. What would your suggestion be for older people who are not so quite social media savvy in terms of adding connections into Facebook, with adding people and making new connections and then starting up conversations?
Yep. My best advice would first of all be to work out what you want your social media platform to be about. Do you want it to be for friends and family to see what you're doing in life, or do you want to use it as a business tool? If you're using it as a business tool, obviously I recommend that because it's a platform that can access people all around the world. But you've got to make sure that when you are adding people onto social media and onto this, your Facebook page, you want to make sure you're actually saying, hey, thanks for accepting my request. The reason I added you was because I would love to share something with you. Do you have 5 minutes spare so I can share my story with you? And you got to make sure that each person that you're adding for a reason. You're not just going through adding 100 people per day for the sake of adding them and you're never going to contact them. So be very specific with the people you have on your page and make sure they're adding value to your business. Otherwise, if you are just sitting there clicking add, it's not a high-paying activity and you're not going to be getting a lot of value from that. So make sure when you are adding people, you're starting conversations, even just saying hello to them and, how are you? It's a long weekend here in Perth. So I would say, how's your long weekend been? Did you have, a great day having the Monday off work? And if they say, oh yeah, great day having Monday off work, did you have a good day off work? I said, oh, actually, Juice Plus is my full-time business, so it feels like I have a day off every day. And I will sort of drip feed into the conversation, and I'd explain a little bit about my story and what I'm doing. So yes, adding people on social media, absolutely great thing to do, great tool, but making sure you are starting those conversations and building relationships. Otherwise, there's no point having them on your Facebook.
Yeah, and that's, you kind of hear some people saying that their DMO is adding 10 people a day or adding 5 people a day, I guess, but you've got to be able to, like you said, you want to be able to connect with each of those people that accepts your friend request. So it's got to be a number that you're able to keep up with and have conversations with, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. And if you just, it's the same thing like calling on Facebook, and you just randomly private messaging each person. If it's not specific to them and why Juice Plus is going to maybe positively affect their life, or the business will add value to their life, if you're not messaging them specifically and you're just messaging them, just for the sake of it, you're just trying to spam as many people as you can, people will pick up on that, and it's not personal. So put yourself back in the shoes of a new person and always think, if you had received a message, what would you be attracted to listening to or hearing or looking at? So if someone sent me a message and they said, hi Caitlin, how are you going with your life? How's your work going? And I had written back and said, I'm really tired at the moment and I'm really not enjoying work. I can't wait for school holidays so I can have a day off, and whatever it may be. The kids are driving me crazy. Then you could write back and say, well, actually, I've got something you might be interested in. Would you have time for me to give you a call? And then you've asked them permission without having to spam them. And once they say, yeah, no worries, give me a call, here's my number, I would then say, the reason I called you is because you said you were really, tired over with work, you weren't feeling very well, your kids were driving you crazy on school holidays. This might be something for you to plug into a positive community, earn a second income, and actually improve your health using the Juice Plus products. And then I would just ask them, would this interest you? And if they say no, I would say, you know what, that's completely fine. But would you like me to keep you up to date with any health and nutrition events that we've got around town? And I would always offer something else. I would never just go, okay, thank you, never talk to you again. If I'm building a relationship or a rapport with someone, you want to make sure it's ongoing, it's consistent, and you're putting in love and care to every single person. Again, put yourself back in their shoes. If they just added you onto Facebook and they just never spoke to you again, you'd think, oh, that was rude. They obviously just wanted a business sale and that was it. And as you guys know, we're much more than that in Juice Plus. So you want to put the time and effort into making those connections on social media. And if you're not a social media person, make sure you're making those connections outside, and you're going and doing coffee catch-ups and you're meeting people, and you're going into gym facilities and you're meeting people face to face.
And so you're always, from what you said in your recording, for those who haven't watched it, you always try and take it offline. So you always try and get their number to give them a call and personally talk to them.
Yep, absolutely. Because if someone approached me on Facebook with a business opportunity, I wouldn't find it very professional in some ways. I would think, well, if you're trying to run a business, why are you trying to give me all the information over Facebook? Why wouldn't you pick up the phone and call me and give me all the information so I can ask questions? So sometimes if you're new in the business, you might think, oh my gosh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to talk to people over the phone. But in the long term, it will pay off and it builds your confidence. You get a lot of personal growth from it. And, you're able to build an instant relationship over the phone with that person.
Yeah. And I suppose if you're new to the business, you don't have to get on that phone and know everything. I mean, you can get on the phone and talk to them with a view to asking them if you could share them some information or send them some information by email.
Yeah, or do a 3-way call with your upline. Yeah. Do a 3-way call with someone who knows a lot about Juice Plus or they've been experienced, and say, I'd love you to jump on the call. I've got Ruth who would love to share some information with you. Would you be interested? So, you're getting that third validation. Someone else is coming on the call and verifying everything you're saying.
Yeah, cool. Could you just go over briefly again your preferred platforms and social media, because you did mention it in the call.
Yep. So the way that I would do it is Facebook is my number one. I definitely so we've got many different platforms of social media, and the reason I love using social media is because, like I said earlier, it's a global network. You can plug into people all over the world. I've still got Canadian friends. When I travelled to Canada last year, New Zealand, I travelled last year as well, and I made these amazing connections with friends. And I've built those relationships up until they've become a customer or part of the team. And some people I've just made amazing friends. So definitely number one is Facebook, because people are on Facebook all the time. They're on their lunch breaks, they're scrolling Facebook. At the end of the day, they're checking what's been happening during the day. So Facebook's my number one. I then use Snapchat as my number two, which is a live streaming of what's happening day to day, and it's a 24-hour news feed. So I use Facebook, Snapchat, and then my phone. I'm constantly on my phone, whether it's phone calls, text messages, or Voxer. I'm constantly plugging in and using my phone for those apps. And then it would be Instagram would be my fourth. I've got 2 girls to call off Instagram once I get off this Zoom call. And all I did was hashtag boss babe, looking for boss babes to join my team. And I had these 2 young girls say to me, what's a boss babe? How do I become part of your team? And what is your team? And they don't even know what it is, but they're wanting me to call them. So it was just because I did one hashtag that's happened. So if you're not up to date with Instagram, Instagram is another, level of platform to work with. But to be honest, for me, it's not a platform I put a lot of energy and time into, because the result is never a high-paying activity.
Right. So you get more from Facebook and Snapchat?
Yeah, absolutely. And my phone, like if I'm not on Zoom or a phone call, I am on Facebook. So definitely just my phone. I'm always just on the actual phone, And this was I was saying to you earlier as well, Ruth, is, make a connection over Facebook and then pick up the phone and talk to them and say, my gosh, it was so nice to meet you over Facebook, but I'd love to meet up and have coffee with you. And if we can't have coffee because I know you're a busy mum or you're working full time, how about we have another chat over the phone in the next couple of days? And you just constantly staying in contact with that person, either over Facebook or pick up the phone and just build that instant relationship.
Yeah. Which can be hard, it's really putting yourself out of that comfort zone for people who haven't done that before. But, you do more of it, and the more you do it, the more you become comfortable with it, I guess.
Yeah, you do. And you got to build that growth into the business as well. Like I didn't do that at the very start. I was a very one-on-one person. I would invite people over to my house. I would take people to events with me, and I would build my business slowly. But now, looking back, if I'd picked up the phone earlier in my business, I would have hit NMD a lot quicker, because over the phone you're hearing each other's voice, and it's you're building that connection straight away. Over social media, you don't know who's behind that computer screen. So you don't feel like you trust them as much. So you think, well, why am I going to buy a product from you? Or why am I going to join your business if I don't even know what you sound like, or I don't even know who you are? I don't even know your story. And it's very hard to explain your health journey or your business story over Facebook. So pick up the phone, explain it to them. And like I said, how I got over that scare factor was putting myself back in the shoes of a new person. I thought if I'm someone approaching, if someone's approaching me with a business opportunity, I would really expect them to actually pick up the phone, tell me their story, share the potential of the business, and then we meet up from there. And once we meet up, go to an event and I learn more. So really get over the scare factor by putting your self back in the new shoes.
Yeah. That's one other thing that just came to mind. Does anyone else have any other questions while I try and think of? Sarah, do you have any questions? Sarah Wilson.
Yep.
I thought it was really interesting, Caitlin, how you said it's really important to only put testimonials from people that you know and can vouch for. I know we've seen, and I've been guilty of it, copying and pasting testimonials that you see. But I really liked that point, because what you said about the dangers of that are really, really valid. And you want to keep authentic, and you want to be able to have that person trust you. So it's not so much a question, but we see that happening so often. I mean, like you said, on your news feed, you're scrolling down, you've got 50 posts of the same thing. And, I've seen that guy, he lost loads of weight, and here are all the people that have shared that same testimonial. So it's I thought that was a really good point, to try and minimize the testimonials that you want to share with people, because you can
absolutely
find them.
Yep, no, that's a great point, Sarah, because that was one of the things I had to learn early on in the business, was only share testimonials from your own customer bases or from your own team. Never share testimonials that are on someone else's page, because the same thing, like someone might say to you, well, I don't believe you that they lost 30 kilos. And you're like, well, I don't know this person personally, so I can't actually pick up the phone and call them and ask them, is your story true? Can you speak to one of my friends who wants to lose 30 kilos? But when I shared Nat Cohen's weight loss journey, which she lost 35 kilos in our team, when someone asked me and said, well, I want to know her story, I said, actually, just bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to dial Nat in. So I did a 3-way call, put Nat on. I said, Nat, I'm sorry to call you out the blue, but I've just come across with, for example, Sally's asking about your testimonial. Could you please just share it over the phone so she can hear? Again, you're making that voice-to-voice connection. And straight away, Sally was just like, I can't believe it. This girl's incredible. I just have to take Juice Plus. I need to get on this product. And that was the power of the testimonial working effectively. And same thing when I posted about my pop being 86 years old and having amazing results on Juice Plus. I had people sharing that. I think 16 people share that post and not even ask my permission. And that's my family. I don't want my family being spammed all over social media when that was just for my own personal page. So you got to make sure that you're not crossing the line with other people as well, because that testimonial was very personal and I want that to stay personal. But when it gets spammed all over Facebook, it no longer becomes personal. So just making sure you're asking permission before you share someone else's post. And if they say, yeah, absolutely, you're more than welcome to share it, that's when you can then go, oh, I can go pick up the phone and ask Caitlin, can you get your pop on the phone to speak to my grandparents? And then that's, the power of the testimonies.
Yeah, because I found I had one customer and he was very successful, lost about 10 kilos on our DCN program, and and I asked his permission to put it up, and he was, yeah, that's fine. And then a few days later, I saw it from people who I was connected to but didn't actually know in the UK, and they were posting the same ones, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Can I
Yeah, Bev, go for it.
Well, I'm one of the older people, I think, that Ruth referred to. I'm very, for an older person, au fait on computer. I have to be. That's my job. But Facebook has been about an intimate thing with my family and friends.
Yeah.
And so now I have widened that out, and I do accept friends that probably I wouldn't have prior to being Juice Plus. So, and then I have some of the close friends coming back and saying to me, oh, and I don't do a lot of posting, as Ruth will, I'm sure, vouch for. Your posts are all about, this healthy living lifestyle and whatever. So should I have 2 Facebook pages? I guess.
Good question. Yeah, really good question. So this is your total preference. There's some things that you will post on your personal Facebook page, which might be things like your grandchildren, or it might be something really personal like a Christmas photo, which you only want your Christmas photos to be shared with your family. So you will keep that on that one Facebook page. And then things like your morning ritual, having your smoothie and then going out in the sunshine, then, going for a walk with your girlfriends, part of Juice Plus, and then you're having a Juice Plus meeting, you will then post that kind of stuff on your Juice Plus page. So absolutely I would do that, but just being aware that you're going to have to manage 2 Facebook pages. And for me, I find it just like, you know what, I want my friends and family on Juice Plus anyway, so I'm just going to have it all on one Facebook page. So that's just, at the end of the day, it's your personal preference, how much time and effort you want to put into 2 social media pages, and whether you want to keep, if you want to keep that family based, I completely agree, it's important, but it's just up to you where you want to take it.
No, I'm happy to try and morph the 2.
Yep,
but
right.
I think it's also about a balance, isn't it? That you don't bombard people.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at the next question.
Can I ask one thing? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm the other older lady here. I have 2 Facebook accounts, which Sarah had me set up 2 strictly with family and friends. I didn't involve in Juice Plus because I felt like it might be just sort of pushing it too much and that they might be offended. And then I had my business one, so to speak. And I found that it's been too confusing for me, and turn that down. And too confusing for me, and I don't go into the family one, and I've been missing all my family posts and things like that. So I found it too difficult. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make sure I shift everyone across to just the one. And like you said, Caitlin, if they don't want to see it, well, that's up to them, but I will post. And I'm not posting anything offensive. There's nothing that's, it's just what I do. And so I think that will probably benefit me in the long run, having them share all of that. So I found that was a bit difficult, Bev, and I'm I've worked in an office and same as you, used to computers and technology and things like that. But Facebook is just, I'm getting behind the eight ball with it. I'm finding that there's so much that I do there that I'm not using it to the extent and I want to. Thing that it's just banking up and having two more. So I don't help you think about it's an individual choice, but that was just my experience. I thought I'd share that.
Yeah, that's great.
Thanks.
And that's the thing with your social media, thank you for sharing, Robin, is that you really want to stay consistent with it, whether it's your family page or your personal, or you're merging the two together. Just be consistent with every single day posting at least one thing, whether it's your smoothie, whether it's your grandchildren eating a beautiful salad, or your own children, whether it's you out and about having a meeting, catching up with your upline, sitting down looking at reports. If you're sitting at a beautiful view and you're working, you might say, hey, look where I'm working today, by the ocean, or whatever it may be. But just make sure it's consistent every single day, doing one social media post, because people will, and I've had this in my team, experience this, where they post every now and then, and people think that they're the every now and then franchisee. And then the consistent franchisees are the one that get all the customers, because people go, oh, I see every single day Caitlin's posting. I'm just going to order through her because I know she's going to help me. But I'm not going to order through so-and-so because they only do Juice Plus every now and then. So do you know what I mean? It's your level of commitment. People would go through the person who has the level of commitment. So even if you're doing Juice Plus part-time at the moment, because we all live such busy lives, you're only running Juice Plus part-time, you still want to make sure at least when you're doing it part-time, you're doing your posts consistently.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I hear that. Thanks so much. Yeah.
You're welcome. More than welcome.
Caitlin, you have a question, Bev?
Yeah. So when you you send the business thing to somebody and you do what we were trained to do. If I sent you such and such, would you? And they go, yes, I'll look at it. Then they don't follow up. Do you just drop it, or have you got a template for following up on that?
Yeah, whenever I connect with anyone on social media, I never just drop it. Do you guys do your 30-day grids?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So I always have my 30-day grid, and I always, if I'm sitting down and I'm doing, let's say, a networking day, so Kim and I am at her house at the moment, we're going to do an hour of power after the Zoom call. We're going to do an hour of power. So what we do is we sit down for 1 hour and we call as many people as we can in that hour to get referrals, to get orders, to get new franchisees, to get interest, to invite them to events, or at least just to make sure that they're a happy customer and they want to continue the product. So what we're going to do is sit down with our 30-day grid from last month and contact all those people again and say, would you like to be part of Juice Plus? I was just touching base with you to see what your feedback was. Was there any events I could interest you with? Because even though last month they told me, no, I'm not interested, I don't want any more information, I would still go back and contact them politely and just say, hey, how's your long weekend been? What did you get up to over the weekend? Monday's a new day. And then I'd leave it, wait for them to reply. Once they reply, I'd keep the conversation going until I feel that it's the appropriate time to then approach them again about Juice Plus opportunity. But I would never just re-message them saying, hey, I want to talk about Juice Plus. Are you free at the moment? I always make sure I ask how they are, what they're doing. Are they available at the time? Would it be better to call them later in the afternoon? And then I sort of go through building the conversation all over again until it's the appropriate time to talk about Juice Plus.
So at some point, because I've been working through that process now with some, there must be a point where you think, no, that without them saying, no, I'm not going to do it, that you just think, oh, well, let's leave them alone.
If they don't reply to me, I know they're not serious. So I'm not going to waste my energy in that sense with those people. I'm going to go find people who really want my help. And when they really want my help, they're going to reply. They're going to ask me to meet up with them or even come do a smoothie demo. And that's when I put the effort and time into those people. But anyone else who's just not replying, not getting back to me, I'm like, well, I'm not going to waste my time chasing after you if you're not going to meet me halfway. So, you know, you want to make sure each conversation is reply. But if you're sending them all the messages and they're never replying, don't bother. You're wasting your time when you could be helping someone else.
Thank you.
So just, yeah, you're welcome. Just go on the principle of next. So even though it sounds a bit harsh, but you got to do it in business, because if someone's going to consume your time and not actually appreciate it, you got to go next. Okay, who can I help now? If they're not going to want my help, I'll go find someone who does.
Yeah.
And I guess, Caitlin, if they're still on your grid and you go back to last month's grid, you know, and if they have just gotten busy with life and distracted and haven't been able to reply, then if you're touching base with them later down the track, it might be a better opportunity for them to maintain.
Exactly right. And that's why we say, when people say no in the business or the product, it's not no forever. It's just no, not right now.
Yeah.
But next month they might be like, hey, I'm in a much better financial situation now. I can actually do this. Or, you know, I'm back from holiday and now I can start Juice Plus. So you never know what their reason is unless you continue that conversation.
I've got to, just going from what you discussed in your video call with Tamara's team, you mentioned how, you know, to do 3 posts a day. There's other people out there that do the business talk about, I know Katie Ravey, for instance, goes by the principle of 3 by 3 by 3, 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, 3 in the evening. But obviously, you know, you're having great success just doing, you know, a number of small posts throughout the day, but obviously making them really effective, making them colourful. What are your tips there with regards to posts? Because obviously you don't go on about Juice Plus in your posts all the time as well, which is great.
See, the thing is, with the people that are on my Facebook page, I know they know I do Juice Plus.
Yeah.
So I don't need to talk about Juice Plus every 5 minutes because they know I'm doing that.
Yeah.
And if you become the crazy Juice Plus person, people are going to start unfriending you on Facebook. So you want to make sure that you're promoting the lifestyle that you're living thanks to Juice Plus, whether it's thanks to the health or the wealth, that's the life you're living. So, you know, after this Zoom call, I'll probably take some photos of all of us on Zoom, and then I'll screenshot them on my phone and I will post them on Facebook and say, what an awesome Zoom call talking about social media with the New Zealand crew. You know, can't wait to see some of you at the Melbourne conference, or, you know, next time I travel to New Zealand. And then people are thinking, because it will pop up on all your Facebook, because I'll tag everyone in it. And then everyone will be like, oh, I wonder what they're talking about on Zoom. And what is this app? And how are they doing online business? And it's, you know, in the middle of the day in Perth, what's going on? So it's about creating curiosity without having to spam about Juice Plus, Juice Plus, Juice Plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, sorry, answering your actual question, your original question, is 3 by 3 by 3 is good for some people. Katie Ravey runs this as a full-time business. This is, you know, her only income stream is Juice Plus. So she makes sure that she's very consistent with it, and she finds that that method of 3 by 3 by 3 is working for her. So people who work full-time, you might just do a post in the morning and a post at lunchtime, and then in the evening you spend that time replying to the people who left comments or messages throughout the day. So each person will have a very different schedule on how they do social media. Me, I personally just, whatever I find exciting at the time, that's what I post. I don't so much spend time scheduling my posts. I just think, oh, wow, this looks amazing. Like, what I had for lunch looks so cool, and it's such a beautiful view, and I've got my laptop here. I'm just going to showcase the lifestyle I'm living. By living the laptop lifestyle, I can work my business anywhere in the world as long as I've got my laptop and my phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I just...
Yeah, go for it, Bev.
That just resonated with me, what you just said then, because I'm a teacher, and when I teach, that whole thing is about trying to capture their curiosity to make them want to learn. And I, until this moment, had never applied that to my Plus business. So thank you for that. That's
You're
something
welcome.
I do, but I hadn't thought about it. And curiosity is it's such a great tool.
Good, thank you. So curiosity is an interesting one, because if you're not leaving if you're giving all the information away on your post, people are going to think, well, you just told me everything, so I don't need to message you and ask you any questions. But if you leave it, and this is why a lot of my posts, I do very short wording, because I don't want to give away all the information. I did one about the American conference, which I leave for on Friday, and the only thing I said about actual conference was hashtag conference 2016. But I said I'm going to Vegas with my boss babes. I'm going to America with my team. I didn't say it was for Juice Plus. I just said it was my team. They're all boss babes, and we're doing this together as a group, and we're going to be traveling overseas. So straight away people are curious. They're like, but why are you traveling? Where are you going? What's this conference for? How many days are you going? I had a lot of people in Canada say, I can't wait to see you there. So straight away I know all my Canadian friends are plugging into that post. So again, that's why social media is such a good forum, because it's global. It's just, your one post will go globally around the world with all your friends. So create that curiosity, and even sometimes ask questions on your post. Say, I'm so excited to now have 3 people join my team. It's so exciting that I'm able to give these people this opportunity of potentially financial freedom and freedom from their full-time jobs. Is there anyone else out there who's looking for an opportunity? And, leave it with an open question. So then they have to start conversation with you, and someone might flick through. It might just be that one person that sees that post out of thousands that says, hey, actually, you know what? I'm sick and tired of doing what I'm doing. What are you offering? I want to hear about your opportunity. So sometimes it's just that one person out of thousands.
Yeah, for Bev it was that funny. I've only ever posted one of those posts on Facebook, and Bev was one of the ones who saw it. She was a customer and she saw it and she's like, I'm interested to hear more. Yeah.
And okay, this is a perfect example, Ruth and Bev. Put yourself back in your shoes. So Bev, when you were back in the day, when you saw that post, that attracted your attention. So that's the kind of thing you want to be posting to attract people like-minded to you. But if you post something that doesn't resonate with you, and you want to make sure that when you're posting something, if you were to post it, it would resonate with you as a new person. So Bev, go back to that and post exactly what Ruth would have posted back then, and try and get the curiosity going around that sort of social media post.
I think there is one small difference there, in that, I'm an elderly person, so I don't have the 1,000 plus, friends on Facebook. But so therefore it's not going to, have that ripple effect quite so much. But I'll keep doing it.
Only takes one
That's
person.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you might even, with it, the hour of power that I'm going to do after this Zoom call is when I call my Juice Plus customers, I'm going to be asking them for referrals, because if they are absolutely loving Juice Plus so much, why wouldn't they want to share it with their friends and family? And if they're a franchisee in my team, or they're looking at becoming a franchisee in my team, if they're loving this business so much, they love the community, they love everything that we do with events, why wouldn't they want to share that with all their girlfriends and all their guy mates? So referrals are sometimes the most powerful thing you can do in network marketing, because the difference with traditional business and network marketing is network marketing is word of mouth. And that's why Juice Plus will never be sold on a shelf, is because we want it to be word of mouth with these positive testimonials shared all around the world. So again, word of mouth, it's just your testimonials. People are going to be saying, hey, I'm feeling really good on Juice Plus, and they're telling their friends and family, and they're then going to become your referred clients.
Caitlin, just one other thing. Just can you go through how, if you have someone like any posts, if you have people like it, what your process, your process is of contacting them and what you say?
So if someone's liked your post, it means they've liked it. So they've scrolled through Facebook and they've clicked the like button, but them clicking the like button means it's resonated with them and they actually like what they see. So now we've got the little different emojis with the little love hearts and the, all that stuff on if you've updated your Facebook. With that, you'd go through, and if someone's liked your post, you'd say, thank you so much for liking my post. What was it about this post that grabbed your interest? Was it the fact that you were interested in learning more about whole food nutrition and the product that I actually promote and share with people? Or is it more the business that I'm able to have this time flexibility to have a day off work, and spend extra time after work with like-minded people in this community. So obviously they've liked your post for a reason. So private message them and find out what they liked about it, and if they'd like more information. And if they just said, hey, look, I liked your post because it was colourful and it was bright and it caught my attention, well, then that's perfect, because you're doing the right thing. You're getting people's attention.
Yeah. Awesome. Even if nothing comes of it, at least you get that feedback on what they liked, which is good.
That's right. And you'll be surprised. People Facebook stalk, and they'll just constantly watch and watch and watch what you're doing. And then eventually they'll say, all right, Ruth, that's it. Tell me about it. I want to know. The time's ready. 6 months ago, the time wasn't ready, but now I feel the time's ready. So can you tell me more about what you're doing? So making sure, again, you're consistent, because 6 months down the track, that same person might come back to you and ask you the same question.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that's all my questions. Lisa's got a question. Lisa,
Go for it, Lisa.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hi.
Am I hearing you correctly? So every post that you put up that's related to your business or not, or anything, you just go straight in there and say, thanks for liking my post. What did you like about it?
Not every time I won't. It's only if I notice that there's a new person who liked it that I've never spoken to before, I will then contact that one person. But if I've spoken to them multiple times about Juice Plus, I'm not going to go back and say, hi, how come you liked that post? What was it that grabbed your interest? Because I already know I've spoken to them. They're not interested necessarily. They know that I'm doing it, and they might just be watching. So I'll just keep in my memory bank that, Lisa keeps liking my photos. She must be interested in what I'm doing, but I'll let Lisa approach me, because obviously Lisa can see what I'm doing. She's liking the post. She's following my Facebook. So when the time's right, Lisa knows where to come and contact me for Juice Plus.
Okay, so like for example, I popped one up today because I'm doing the Transform 30, and what my day was going to be looking like Transform 30 wise, and a whole heap of people that I know that I haven't told about the business replied and stuff. And I guess I'm asking, do I sort of touch base with them? Hey, do you realise what I'm doing? Da 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 da.
Yeah, so within that situation, I would. Yep. Because they've been attracted to that post specifically because it's Transform 30. You might say to them, hey, how have you been? I noticed you liked my Transform 30 post. Have you ever heard of Transform 30? Let them reply, and they'll say, no, I've never heard of it. What is it? Then you can say, it's an awesome program. I've just begun. It's so simple to follow. Did you see the photos that I posted on Facebook about the food I'm going to be eating? And then they'll say, yeah, actually I saw that post, and that's what grabbed my attention, was I want to eat healthier. And you could say, you know what, that's perfect. I'm so glad we started this conversation, because this is a program that gives you a meal plan alongside an awesome nutritional product that bridges the gap in your nutrition. So, even though I'm following the Transform 30, I'm still not even able to get enough nutrition in my diet every single day. So that's why I also take Juice Plus. And then they're going to say, well, what's Juice Plus? And you can say, I started Juice Plus a year ago. It's been awesome for my health. I noticed my energy levels became better. I started changing my taste buds started to change, and then leave it at that. They'll then reply. And, you only want to keep your messages short. Don't ever send someone a story, because they're going to get bored. They're going to think, oh, I've only got 5 minutes. I'm not going to sit there scrolling through your story. You just want snippets of key points. So, again, put yourself back in their shoes. I don't want to sit there scrolling through someone's life story. I just want to know, what are the key points? What interests me? How can I get it? Where do I get it from? How much is it? So straight away, I'm upfront with people. I say, the T30 is a nutrition program. It incorporates using Juice Plus. Have you ever heard of Juice Plus? Then they'll come in and say, I would say it's an awesome nutritional support. For only $3.90 a day, which is Australian price, for only $3.90 a day, I'm able to have my fruit, veg, and berry nutrition in a capsule. Like, it's so simple. And then they're going to go, oh, is it really that simple? Is it really that cheap? And I say, yeah, it's $117 per month. I could spend $117 on a pair of high heels. So I can absolutely justify the fact I'm spending this amount of money on Juice Plus. So you're getting rid of the fear of finance straight out of the water. They're seeing that you're confident about what you're promoting, what you're sharing, and they can see that you're on your own journey. And they're going to go, well, if she's on a journey, I'm on a journey. We could do this together. So your conversation needs to be ongoing, keep it consistent, and if if you're like, oh God, I've got to get in the car and I've got to drive to work now, I would just say to the person, I'm so sorry, I've got to jump in the car, I'm off to work, but are you free at 5 o'clock when I finish work? I'll message you again and we can continue our conversation. What you're doing is you're pretty much asking politely, and you're asking permission to keep the conversation going. But if you just after work, you're just like, hey, sorry, didn't get back to your message, what's going on, how are you? They're going to think, oh gosh, she doesn't stop messaging me. So just ask for the permission.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't want to bombard you with information, but listen to the recording again if you guys get time, just to really understand the different key points of what we've gone over today, and watch the video from Dr. Tamara Hunter, because that Zoom call that I did really explains everything.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Caitlin. Does anyone have any last questions?
Yeah, no,
you got one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Just way aside, must be cold down there, Ruth. You're sitting in a sweatshirt.
It's raining. Yeah, it's turned cold.
I just had a quick question. I know when I first joined the business last year, I noticed straight away that the UK used a lot of video selfies. And Australia doesn't use it as much as the UK does. Have you had success with that? Do you like to use it?
I've had people in my team, actually funny you say that, because one of the girls who does video selfies all the time, she is actually from the UK originally. She's got an amazing business here over in Australia, but she uses it because she likes to have that one-on-one connection with people without having to actually go out of her way and fly back to the UK, for example. She can send a personalised video of herself on her Facebook page to anyone in the world, connect with each other, and people might go, oh my gosh, I'm watching this girl and I'm connecting with her story. So video messages is extremely amazing, important, and to get your business up and running, not sure where you guys are with the business, but in the building phases of your business, documentaries of little Snapchats of your journey is so crucial. Because what you could do is you could say, hey guys, I just want to send a little video message out to everyone on my Facebook. The reason I want to do this is to share a little bit about what I've been doing with Juice Plus in the last couple of months. I found that my results have really increased ever since following the Transform 30 and having Juice Plus in my body. I would just love to put this video out on social media to attract anyone that may want to know more information and help me along my journey, and I can help you along yours. And just little things like that, and you'll see the right people will be attracted to that post.
Yeah, great. I'll take that. Excellent. Thanks.
Oh, good. I'll look forward to seeing your video.
Yeah, I'm planning it in my head already.
Love it.
Bev, did you have a question?
No, I was just going to say, you won't see my selfie.
I did one. I've only done one video selfie, Caitlin, of my Juice Plus story, and it probably went for a little too long. It went for about 4 or 5 minutes. I should have kept it a lot shorter than that. But I had more than 1,300 views, and I just could not believe. Obviously people who are my friends on Facebook had been seeing what I was doing. So then when I posted the video, it was, people were able to actually click on that and listen without that, just be able to listen to that without having to ask me what I'm doing, and that pressure of asking. So it's a great thing. I need to do it.
It is good, but make sure it's under 2 minutes. Every video you do under 2 minutes. Anything above that, people will switch off and their brain will turn off. It needs to be 2 minutes. It needs to be eye-catching. Don't do it in a dark room where they can't see. You do it lighting, have a nice background. Do things where it's actually so engaging. They're like, I want to watch this. What's this all about? But if you're sitting against, like if I stood against this and I did this call to you guys would be like, what is she doing? Do you see the difference in the background? But this suddenly becomes lively, energetic, fun. You guys are like, where is she? What's she doing? So it makes such a difference. So when you do your video recording, just do it with a nice, fun background.
Yeah. Oh, so many amazing tips. Thank you so much, Caitlin.
You're welcome. More than welcome. Before we go, can I get a clean photo of everyone? Maybe if I do it this way.
Yep.
Nope. I'm going to do it this way. All right, everyone, big smiles. All right, I'll do it to the other screen. I've got 2 screens. There we go. Beautiful. And I'll tag you guys in that. We'll do a social media post and then you guys can see what I do.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you so much, Caitlin, for your time. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. More than welcome. I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, bye.